My son is in college at Sewanee. He attended MBA. I have two daughters at Harpeth Hall. One briefly attended Julia Green. What I would do to change public schools, well, there's a variety of things I would do. The most essential thing I would do is do this, which I've talked about this entire campaign, is make public education a priority for all 4 years that I'm mayor. I think as you're cutting up the budgetary pie, and I'm not talking about increasing taxes, I'm saying that every day a mayor has to make decisions about priorities, and what you need to do is make sure that when you're cutting up the pie, that every year public education is a priority. That's how you get to the point where you have the schools that you need. The other thing, again, I would focus on dropout rates. And I think dropout rates are an issue where a mayor can be a leader. It's, clearly there's a legal system where the Board of Education and the director runs the school, but I think high dropout rates are a community problem. I would, upon taking office, I would immediately assemble a group of people to advise me on what are the causes of dropout rates and what we can do to reduce them. I think we need to do things such as having partnerships with private businesses where kids hold jobs on the condition they stay in school and that they attend school. And if that requires flexible hours at school, I would do that. If that requires, I think it requires vocational programs and career programs. But we have to get these 50% rates down, and to do that is going to take innovative thinking. And what I think is important also is accountability from a mayor. At the end of 4 years, the way I want to be judged, and this is my marker, is going to be, has the dropout rates been reduced? And if they're not, then I'm the person I think who will be accountable for that, and it's my goal to make sure they are reduced.
Thank you.
It's nervous when you hear that.
What schools did your children attend, and what would you do to change those schools?
Well, number one, I graduated from the public school system, always was in the public school system. I went to Glendale Elementary and Hillsborough High School, and my wife, Mary, graduated from Glencliff High School. And both my daughters here, Elizabeth and Rachel, both graduated from public schools as well. As you know, I was a U.S. congressman, so they went to the public school system with me up there. But I believe in the public school system. I want to strengthen it every way we know how. And as I've said, I am concerned about our public school system, and I've commented a while ago about I want to put a lot of emphasis on pre-K, and because if kids get started off right in life, it sure helps later down the road. And I mentioned about one thing I haven't mentioned is that if a child has 5 unexcused absences, I'm going to have a review board at every school. Find out why. Why are they missing school? Do the parents, guardian care, or is it, or they don't even know about it? I think the time's come that we've got to make a parent or parents or guardian more responsible than we have in the past when it comes to the child's education. That's another way of bringing down the juvenile crime rate. I mentioned vocational education that I definitely want to bring back into the school system. I'm going to strengthen the in-school suspension program. What we're doing now, you take a child out of class for acting up, and it's almost rewarding them. What about cleaning up graffiti? What about doing a lot of things that would be productive where they want to be back in that classroom?
Right. More of the teacher's time without actually leaving any time for instruction. Now, I know that the mayor doesn't make decisions about these kinds of policies, but if you were to speak to the school board or try and talk to them about efficiencies, do you think that this type of action would be a good idea, or do you think that this maybe is a waste of teachers' precious time?
About it really from what I read in the newspaper, and also I was present when it was first being unveiled to some of the teachers. And I think the way it was explained, it did sound like it was going to be a lot more work for the teachers to do. Now, I do think there's a lot to be gained from having individual plans for students, if you can, by setting realistic goals for each student and making sure that each student is striving toward those goals. But one of the things that's really occurred in the last few years with No Child Left Behind and some other legislation is that teachers are spending more and more time on issues such as paperwork. when it's diverting them from classroom work. And there's, No Child Left Behind has some good features. I mean, one is accountability. It keeps track of progress. But at the same time, we don't want to get diverted from what actually should be going on in the classroom, which is instruction. And one of the things I'm committed to doing as mayor is holding town hall meetings with parents and teachers all over the community. I think the mayor can play a role in this. And in fact, I held a town hall meeting yesterday at Ellington Agricultural Center with 50 or 60 parents and teachers to discuss educational issues. And I think you have to do that. You have to reach out to both groups to hear what are the problems and then see how you can help with those. I do think our teachers who have endorsed me in this race are very much committed to quality education for their children, for our children. I think they're very much committed to doing the best that they can. And we need to be sure that we do everything we can to cut down on the red tape so they can do their jobs. I mean, the more they can be in the classroom teaching, the more individual attention they can give to students, the better. And any way we can cut down on red tape, I think the better also.
Brenda Gilmore just arrived shortly. Good to see you, Madam Representative. And yes, we need to do everything we can to improve our educational system, as commented, but what was the question?
The question was about Metro's plan to create individualized student plans for every student. And the teacher, I mean, there's 75,000 students, and so one of the complaints that we got from readers was that what time do the teachers have to do this, and are they really just taking away time from instruction to fill out a lot of paperwork?
Well, they're overwhelmed. I think all of us know that when it comes to paperwork and bureaucracy, and somehow, some way, we got to get those dollars into the classroom to the teacher rather than administration, and I think that's something the mayor and the city council need to look at very seriously. And I want to comment on No Child Left Behind as well. That was underfunded from the first day at the federal level, and I hope Congress now is going to make some major adjustments there when it comes to that program where it will help us more. As you know, over 60% of our children in school are below the poverty line. And that's why I said earlier, we got to put a lot more emphasis on economic development, more jobs and better jobs for our people. You know, we just lost 500 jobs. Just announced that moving from Nashville to Williamson County. We never were even at the table. Metro should have been at the table when it comes to Nissan headquarters going to Williamson County. So I want regional economic development, but we've got to strengthen the economic core in Nashville, and that in itself will help us improve our schools and help our school teachers and help the entire educational system.
In Nashville, so we have a couple of questions about business and improving conditions for working folks here. And one question here from the audience is, as a small business owner and a resident downtown, I need to know what you'll do about panhandling that turns off my clients in Torrance.